Ladies and gentlemen, Primetime CP23 here. What's up? We're here today to talk about professional Halo, something I know nothing about. I'm a fan. I love Halo. I'm not particularly good at it. I consider myself to be wildly average at Halo. But today we're going to talk about some guys who are much better than me, way above average. Before I start, if for some odd reason one of the Halo pros that I talk about in this happens to, let's turn off that fan. If one of the Halo pros that I happen to mention in this video sees this video, I mean no disrespect. Y'all are significantly better than me. I acknowledge that. I also acknowledge that I could be completely wrong with these predictions. But let's get right into it. So today's video is going to be going over what I think are going to end up being the final placings for Season 2 of the Halo Championship Series, the HCS. If you've been keeping up with Halo at all, you know that CLG has been the #1 team for many months, pretty much ever since picking up Lethal. They won the Halo World Championship, they won the Season 1 finals, they won Season 1, had the best record in the league, and that's why I'm picking them to place first in Season 2. Now, this is important. If a team is going to beat CLG this season, and I don't mean take a map from them, I don't mean take a series from them, I mean if a team is going to knock CLG off the top of the mountain this season, it's going to be Team Envious. Team Envious has just announced their final roster. It's going to be Snipedown, Miquin, Hook, or Huke, depending on how you pronounce it, and I got your Pistola. Now, this team is stacked. That's the only way to put it, is this team is stacked. Snipedown and Pistola teamed for a long time in H2A, Halo 2 Anniversary, and so they're going to work very well together. Miquin and Pistola have teamed together, I think, since before Halo World Championships. And Hook is just... he's just Hook. He's a top 4 player. I think, in my opinion, the top 5 players in Halo 5 are pretty obviously the 4 players on CLG and Hook. I don't know how you want to position them. In my personal opinion, I go Frosty, Royal 2, Hook, Lethal, Snakebite. I could be totally wrong, but that's my top 5. My number 6 and 7 players in Halo 5 today are Snipedown and Miquin. And Pistola is a top 10, top 15 player. Maybe top 20 at the very worst. An incredible player. He's won tournament after tournament. The only question I have about Team Envious is, will having 3 dominant main slayers work out for this team? Snipedown, Miquin, and Hook are all dominant main slayers who are incredible with the sniper. And I just can't wait to see how they gel. I think they're going to work very well together. I think this team is going to be very good. I think they have a very good shot at knocking off CLG. And those are definitely the top two teams this in Season 2, is CLG and Team Envious. Now is where it gets a little shaky. The predictions get a little shaky. From 3rd through 6th place, I can see many combinations of things happening. But my personal opinion, what I really believe is going to happen, is the order is going to go 3rd place, Enigma 6, 4th place, Luminosity, 5th place, Liquid, Team Liquid, and 6th place, Evil Geniuses. Now, let's go back to the beginning of that. Enigma 6, I think, is going to be a top 3 team. I think they're going to be the 3rd best team in the league this season. And I think this because Kratos and Boo Boo Doo Boo, which I can't believe that's a real pro's name, just by the way, they teamed together in Season 1 on the Enigma 6 roster with Hook, and I believe Shooter was their 4th at that time. And they were the only team that took a series from CLG. They're both very good players. Then you add in Suspector, who spent Season 1 with Evil Geniuses, and learning from Roy and Lunchbox and Snipe Down, and Stellar, who's just a very good young player. I think they have the talent, and I think they will be able to get the teamwork together to become the 3rd best team in Halo this season. 4th place is going to be the newly announced Luminosity Gaming. It's going to be Luminosity's first foray into the professional Halo scene, and they got a pretty good team to start with. Their team this season is going to be Nated, Denoxide, L-Town, and Eco, also known as Unlegit. Now, Nated and L-Town took 2nd place at the Halo World Championships. 2nd. If they can get that teamwork back, then I think they have a really good shot of being in the 3rd through 6th portion. And I think they're going to end up in 4th. I could very realistically see them in 3rd also. And now we come to Team Liquid, the 7th place team from Season 1 is now, they've retained Spartan and Penguin, and they've also picked up Rain and Commonly. This is a very unpredictable team. Spartan, I think, is a top 10 player in Halo 5 right now. I think he's got one of the best 2 or 3 snipers in the game. He's an exceptional slayer. Commonly, I think, unfairly gets blamed for Evil Genius's performance at the Halo World Championship. I don't think it was his fault. I think he's a very good player. Penguin and Rain, I don't know a whole lot about. I know Rain finished Season 1 with Team Envious, so I imagine he's also a very solid player, but like I said, honestly, I just don't know a whole lot about him. I haven't followed his career. And rounding out the top 6, I've got Evil Geniuses. Probably the most experienced team in the Pro League this season. But I just don't know how they're going to do. Tonight I watched, my friend Jake and I both watched an Evil Genius scrim. They were scrimming against... Who were they scrimming against? Luminosity. They scrimmed against Luminosity. They tied 7-7 with Luminosity. But I just don't know how they're going to do. I know that Roy and Lunchbox both have a lot of stuff going on outside of Halo. I don't know how much that affects their practice time. But I know that if they're not 100% dedicated to Halo, that they may be in for some trouble this season. Ninja has a history of overextending. He's a very good player, but he seems to overextend when he probably shouldn't, and that causes him to die a lot. Now, I don't know how he's going to work with Roy and Lunchbox. From the stream that I watched last night, it seemed like he was trying to call the shots. He was trying to be the team captain. He was trying to be the man. And I don't know if that's the right way to go. But, I mean, we'll see what happens. As for Victory X, he's just a really good all-around player. He's teamed with Ninja for a while now. I don't know how long exactly, but they were on the same... They were both on Renegades in Season 1 with Commonly and Stellar. Commonly and Stellar rounded out their top 4. They're their team in Season 1. Now we get into the relegation teams. The teams that I believe are going to have to fight to keep their Pro League spot after Season 2. And that's going to be Optic and Allegiance. Now, simply for fanboy reasons, I gotta believe that Optic Gaming is going to take 7th. I would love to see Optic succeed. I would love to see them, take top 4. It just doesn't seem realistic. I think they can take 7th, but it kind of depends on who their 4th is. Right now, their team is Maniac, Ace, and APG. And to my knowledge, they have not announced a 4th yet. But I just can't imagine any 4th is going to take them higher than 7th place. It hurts me to say that. I really enjoy Maniac's content. He works really hard, both on YouTube and at Halo. I'm just not sure that he has what it takes to be on, a top 4 team. Ace, I think, is probably the best player on the team. And at the same time, I think APG has the potential to, from game to game, be the best player on the team. But he seems to struggle with consistency. So I'm not sure how that's going to work. For their 4th, I saw rumors online that they were going to pick up Cloud as their 4th, rumors that they were going to pick up Hines as their fourth. Now, Hines, I think, would work a little better because he's such an objective player. I think he would bring enough objective work that the other three could mainly focus on slaying. But we'll just have to see. And then in 8th place, I have Team Allegiance, which is going to be Contra, Predevinator, Falcated, and Shooter. Honestly, my brain tells me that Allegiance is going to take 7th and that Optic is going to take 8th. But like I said, my heart believes in Optic. So I got to go with Optic in 7th. I don't know a whole lot about Predevinator or Falcated or really even Shooter. I just don't. I know Contra is a very good slayer, but I don't know too much about them. They may come around and surprise me because, like I said, I know Shooter went, or rather, Shooter was on Enigma 6 for season 2 or for season 1, and finished. I believe they finished in second place at the season 2 finals. So I believe that he's definitely a very good player. I'm not sure how well the team is going to do, though. So that pretty much wraps it up for the top 8. Like I said, 3rd place through 6th place is a total toss-up. I don't think Allegiance can do better than 7th. Enigma 6 could come out and, for lack of a better term, shit the bed. Enigma 6 has by far the lowest valley possible. I think Enigma 6 has the potential to either be the 3rd place team or the 7th place team. It just depends on what happens. It depends on how well Suspector and Stellar can work with Kratos and Boo Boo Doo Boo. I think Liquid is a pretty solid choice for either 5th or 6th place. And I think Luminosity is dead set at 4th place. I do not see Luminosity moving out of 4th place all season. I think Luminosity is going to be 4th place literally the entire season. Because Naded is an extremely good player. He was a part of the Optic Gaming squad that actually won the Last Chance qualifier to become a pro team in the first place. He's just an exceptional player. So I think that it's a very good possibility that they are 4th place the entire season. Alrighty, well, that's going to do it for my Season 1 prediction. And I failed at the outro on my first take. Way to go me, 20-minute video, and I fail on the outro. Let's try that again. That's going to do it for my Season 2 placing prediction video. Words are fun. I've been talking for 20 minutes straight. Give me a break. Sorry. Didn't mean to get so frustrated at you. That's going to call it a day. This is Primetime CP23 here, and I'm out.